welcome back. I just finished watching the E3 game conference show.
Oh boy, I've made a video about this guy 8 months ago. Nice to see that he still hasn't fixed his dodgy camera. On top of that, this guy is Dutch like me, which means he's an embarrassment to the entire nation, and we should honestly consider exiling people like this. But anyway, yeah, he didn't like the Xbox E3 event, and his reasons are dumb. And before I get a bunch of people in my comments again like last time complaining about how everybody is allowed to have an opinion, you are in fact allowed to have an opinion. I don't care if you don't like the Xbox E3 conference, but if your reasons for not liking it are dumb and your arguments make no sense, I get to make fun of you.
From Microsoft for 2021, I kind of had high hopes for it. They have been talking about all their game studios. They have been talking about bringing a lot more games to the Xbox systems and Game Pass, etc. But wow, basically 80% were shooters.
Wow, you guys, basically 80% were shooters. Okay, before people start complaining again, I get to make fun of the accent, it's my country. But yeah, anyway, no, I don't think 80% of them were shooters, right? Let me think about this, right? You had Halo Infinite, you had Stalker 2, they showed off that new Battlefield game, and I guess Slime Rancher 2 is also a first-person shooter, right? And then on top of that, all of these games are incredibly different. Like, just think about this, mate. Kirby and Metroid are both platformers. Doesn't mean they're the same thing. They're incredibly different. Same goes for like Halo and Stalker 2. Yes, they're both open world FPS games, but they could not be more different from one another.
Just shooters. They even ended with a shooter.
Oh, he just means games where you shoot guns in general. They had too many of those. But you do realize that all these games are different genres, right? Like, The Outer Worlds, which is a first-person shooter, Western RPG, is incredibly different than Stalker 2 or Back 4 Blood. I mean, you would expect someone like you with a wall of... well, I guess a wall of virginity like that behind you to understand the difference in games that might have similar features. Like, look at your wall. You have Xenoblade Chronicles, which is an anime-style JRPG, right? And next to that, you have a little statue of what I believe is Robin from Fire Emblem, which is also a JRPG. Now, most people wouldn't be able to tell the difference between characters from these two games. But you and I can both agree that while both of these games share a lot of things with each other, they're both incredibly different. Same goes for these shooter games that you are referring to as if they're all the exact same and they're all in the same category. They're not.
Holy shit. And they even talked about, yeah, we're working on Elder Scrolls 6, yeah, duh. Yeah, we're working on a new Fable, yes, we're working on this, we're working on that, but nothing has been shown. I mean, seriously, come on, how much time do you need to let people see a little bit of gameplay?
So I just want to point out how funny it is that PlayStation fanboys always get on Microsoft's case for not showing gameplay like 1 year after reveal. But when Sony or PlayStation does that, like for example with God of War Ragnarok, of which we have seen literally nothing else besides a logo, that's all good. Nobody's complaining about that. But yeah, the games you brought up, The Elder Scrolls 6 and Fable, are both open world RPGs and they take a lot of time to make. Especially The Elder Scrolls 6, which is probably still in the early stages of development because the studio has been very busy with Starfield. It takes time to make a game, right? And you can only really show gameplay when there is good, polished, finished gameplay to be shown. If you want to argue that they might have revealed the games too soon, that's fair, that's valid. Because games nowadays get like revealed 5 years before they come out, which is insane. But personally, I was quite happy with what Microsoft showed. They showed enough gameplay for me. But yeah, nah, I'm on PC anyway, so I'll have plenty of shit to play while I wait for the Elder Scrolls 6 and Fable to come out on my platform. And I don't really care too much about when they release.
So they did start out really interesting with Starfield, and I'm like, okay, finally, we're gonna see something cool. It was like 20 seconds of nothing saying in-game graphics.
I don't know why he put in-game graphics in quotes. Yes, this was in fact an in-game cutscene, not a CGI one. That's a fact, so the in quotes kind of thing doesn't mean anything. And also, the saying, I guess, niets zeggend doesn't work in English. Like you said, this trailer is nothing saying. That doesn't exist in English. You should have used something like the trailer is meaningless, or the trailer gave us no new content or no new ideas of what the game is about. You can't just say something in Dutch, directly translate it to English and expect it to work.
Just showing a little bit of graphics. I mean, okay. So Starfield has been announced, I think like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and that's the only thing they can show? Wow. Same goes with Halo Infinite. It definitely looked a lot better than last year. And the online mode will be free to play. Okay, that's pretty cool. And there's going to be campaign mode. I mean, that's pretty cool, but a shooter, another shooter. The only game I was really impressed with, to be honest, was Diablo 2. No, I'm joking.
Wow, man, you got the whole squad laughing.
That was Forza Horizon 5. Now, that game looked really cool. At least that's not really right. I mean, it looked really good. But open world race game, I'm kind of more of the Gran Turismo, just racing, that's it. You know, I'm not a huge fan of racing myself, but I do like arcade racers and Gran Turismo once in a while, etc. So, to be honest, I am extremely disappointed. Extremely disappointed.
My guy, I'm extremely disappointed in the fact that you still haven't fixed your god-awful camera. Like, holy shit, how hard is that?
They did not sway me to get the Game Pass. They did not sway me to get an Xbox Series X. And basically, they're giving Sony and Nintendo almost another free pass for a couple of years.
Yeah, I disagree. I think Xbox is doing great. Definitely better than Sony. Maybe not as good as Nintendo. I'm not sure about that. And I mean, the main thing that PlayStation fanboys keep saying as to why PlayStation is better than the Xbox is because they have exclusive games. But if you look at all the games that have been announced for Xbox and are exclusive to it, that list is way longer than PlayStation's list of upcoming exclusives. Yes, PlayStation had more exclusives ready for the first year, but in the long run, they're not gonna have nearly as many games as Xbox is going to have. Like, just look at the list.
To definitely do a lot better, hopefully. I mean, Sony has been doing pretty okay. You know, Demon's Souls, Spider-Man, Returnal, that's a new IP, seems to be selling pretty well and has been received pretty well.
Returnal received well, my guy. That game was so broken that the developers literally advised people to not play the game. Hell, Amazing Lucas, one of the biggest PlayStation fanboys on YouTube, literally made a video where I believe for about 20 minutes as he raged on about how much he hated Sony because he was so frustrated with Returnal and even more frustrated with the fact that he could not refund the game. Unlike on PC, which is the greatest gaming platform on which you can refund any game you don't like within a certain amount of time after you bought it. And the other two games you named were Demon's Souls, which is literally an exact copy and remake of the older Demon's Souls, and the Miles Morales Spider-Man game, which is a very short and incredibly mediocre standalone expansion of Spider-Man for the PS4, which was an incredibly overrated mediocre game. Anyway, you guys, this is the end of his video, which means it's the end of mine. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.